Welcome to STS 17, in which Dave thinks on his feet. See, 10 seconds before we started, I still had no title, and these guys, they were, instead of being helpful, you were just being pricks. Both of you were just sat there going, he's not going to think of something. He's not going to think of something. Well, F you both.
Yeah, of course. You'd have done the same to me. You just sat there and been as much of a pain in the ass as you could.
You know what I'm going to do next time? Just so you're aware of this, I'm going to mention this now because you'll forget. What I'm going to do next time is I'm simply just going to go, in which Fluke? And see how you handle it.
Yeah, that's
Well, to be fair, we've already had an in which Dave. Might as well go for an in which Fluke and an in which Kel to complete the set.
You've got to catch them all.
In which we turty tree in a turd. No. If we're doing a Kel themed one, can we do an in which we Colin Farell this shit?
I need to see Total Recall.
It's actually not a bad film.
That's what I'm hearing.
Like no. Xander is of the opinion.
Well, I haven't seen it. I've just read the critical reviews from critics whose work that I generally know. It's like, well, if you've seen the original, you've seen it. Don't bother.
Okay, so how it works, in my opinion, is you take the main character. So literally, you just pick him up with one of those crane things that you try and, get an arcade to get the bear.
I was going to say grab the bear out of the thing.
You're using one of those
pick him up and drop him.
Yeah, so basically, right, you put your pound in the machine and you pick up a Colin Farell doll.
Yeah, you inevitably drop him because the machine's rigged.
Yeah. Okay, so then you put in your second pound and you get the Colin Farell doll again. This time you successfully get him out of the thing. And then you take Colin Farell home and you have your nice little wonderful Total Recall original set theme there with Mars and everything and Quaid, start the reactor. And basically you just pick up Colin Farell and instead of putting him down in that one, you put him down in the one that you built next to it, which is essentially Deus Ex.
Nice.
The character is exactly the same in regards to how he works, what he goes through, all of this essential stuff. I'm not going to get into technical film speak because I don't need to. So just take him, put him in a different world. That's it. The film is a fantastic film. If you're going to compare it to the second film, the first film, then you'll either like it or you'll hate it. If you take it just as face value as a re-envisioning of the film, then yeah, it's brilliant. It's a good film. It's as solid as the first one was. So.
Yeah, I guess you can't really say much more than that. Arnold Schwarzenegger getting his eyes sucked out with a lack of atmosphere on Mars.
Unfortunately, nothing like that happens in this one, especially the bit where he pulls the thing out of his face through the nose.
Yeah,
the big
tracking device.
Yeah. Unfortunately, with this one, Colin Farrell just cuts it out of his hand and then gives it to an emo kid who tells the cops to basically knock off.
Fair enough.
Which is quite an interesting one. But I do love the phones that they use. They have them implanted in their hand, and you hold your hand up to your face and talk into it that way. But if you want to...
You mean like Inspector Gadget?
Kind of. But
awesome.
yeah, just go Gadget phone. But if you want to have a video call, or if you want to have like, put them on speaker, you put your hand against a glass surface.
So everything in the future is made of glass?
Yes, essentially. So the song from the 80s involving glass, that I can't remember who it was by. I want to say like Cyndi Lauper, but I don't think it was. I think it was probably like Blondie.
What, Heart of Glass?
That's the one.
Yeah, it was Blondie.
I thought it was Blondie. It's like
I was always just going to say that, and it was like, wait, no, showing your age.
I'm in a perpetual state of having girls just want to have fun stuck in my head. So I just kind of...
Nice.
That's not a good way to be.
So, Irishman over in the corner, now that you have successfully regained your lucky charms and are doing productive stuff.
Yes.
What have you done?
What have I done? In terms of just playing games, I've been playing StarCraft 2 in preparation of a hopeful Heart of the Swarm beta key, like so many others, because I'd hate to go back into it with the lack of ladder rankings.
One?
No.
Fair enough.
I'm hoping to get one.
Fair enough, I thought you had one. Never mind.
No, that was just a dream.
I had one. Mine came through. I thought it was a scam email because it hit my phone and it was all jargon.
Awesome.
It was.
Yeah, I don't want a situation where if I do get in, I go in, queue up, meet someone amazing, and then just die because I can't remember what button spawns drones.
You will be against Hydra. Like, well, shit.
Now, apparently he's a fake.
He's not in it. Or at least he wasn't last night, because the fantastic tweets that he was putting out, which were, if I don't get a beta key in the next 10 minutes, fuck this, I'm going to Dota 2.
He linked a Pokemon MMO that I'm actually going to have to look at.
Yes, the Poke MMO, which it was like, holy crap, that's quite cool.
Yes. In terms of putting out videos, I did an awesome platformer, which I'm going to recommend to you because I know you like Meat Boy, called They Bleed Pixels.
I saw your video. It's so good.
It is fantastic. It's just the aesthetic of it, the fact that everything is hyper pixelated just somehow works.
How did you like the ponycorns?
The ponycorns, I had to finish the level I was on to be able to unlock, so I couldn't put them in the video.
You should have done like a bonus video on ponycorns. I'm disappointed.
I might go and do that because that level is fiendish.
I'm glad I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't remember Sissy's...
You don't know the ponycorns thing, don't you?
Sissy's Magical Ponycorn Adventure?
Sissy's Magical Ponycorn Adventure. Cassie, the 5-year-old, and her dad, that I can't remember the name of, I think his name's like Ryan Creighton or something.
I remember. You just in fact, if you go to Google and do a search for Fear the Flames, 99% of the time it returns the video.
Ponycorn video.
Let's test this. Let's test this. I am in fact Googling myself right now.
You'll get no, but you're logged into Google. You'll have to do it.
No. Signed out. Signed out.
Do it in an incognito window.
Incognito windows. Top hit is my Twitter, then Twitch, then more Twitch. There is no YouTube video, right? Oh, there we go. No, second page. Sissy's Magical Ponycorn Adventure.
That used to be the first result.
Yeah.
That's the first video result, and the second video result is Ring Fling with good old Moo.
Yeah, I'm getting those same results here. Although the first page is, your X-Fire profile's up there. What the hell?
To be fair, anything that shows me up instead of the ticket tout that was scamming people regarding the World Cup like 8 years ago is all good, because I really dislike the fact that some scamming dick has the same name as me. That's why. That's one of the reasons I use Dave. Apart from the fact that like I really, really, really hate having my formal name used. I use Dave because it's just easier to find me online, as David Spanton turns up like fucking the World Cup scammer and other stuff.
Nice.
Right. I see.
So apart from They Bleed Pixels,
so
getting
what
back on topic.
Back on target.
Let's get back on. It's okay. We've got like tons of Dark Souls footage in the background, and I'm sure people love seeing me die, so we're fine on that one. Just keep going.
Yeah,
that's totally fine. There was also an arena combat game with destructible terrain everywhere released that was fairly interesting.
Yes.
I ended up taking a look at that, Minor Wars Arena. It's a precursor to a 6-axis shooter called Minor Wars 2081, I think.
Right.
And it looks pretty interesting. I had very mixed opinions about the game while I was playing it, but I'm going to leave them in the video.
Fair enough.
I think, just to point out the major flaw, no online multiplayer.
Which is an irritating thing to see in games.
Especially when you've got a game that's a multiplayer arena or an arena setting that would be amazing with multiplayer. It's got local multiplayer, but it's you want online multiplayer or something like that.
It really bothers me that a lot of games that could have co-op in don't. Me and my other half, I've been doing very little this week. Played a lot of Deus Ex on my own because, God forbid you
you're an emo.
It's a good game. I've been playing through, made my own New Game Plus up since I didn't put one in the game. I found this dev hack for it that let me unlock all the stuff that I wanted. So I just loaded my old save up, made a list of what I had, gave it to myself at the beginning of the game, playing as a badass. It's good fun. But there's not enough games to play multiplayer. Been trying to find stuff to play on the other half. There's nothing that's Batman. Yeah, but we've played through most of it. You know what I mean?
There was the keyword.
Yeah, okay, so I'm not in the mood for playing Batman. So what else? We could play some Civ.
But
there's so few games come out that have any co-op element to them when they could do just for another 10 minutes worth of bleeding dev time.
I would call shenanigans on that one. Kel?
I don't know, you could probably find some if you were to hunt, but there's no...
No, Katie has literally gone through... She's done Google searches and found there's a couple of lists of co-op multiplayer games.
Well, just go to
and the year they've released. Yeah, and we've been through it, and it's like
Name
played it,
dropping
played
like
it, played
big
it,
old whore.
played it, completed it, sick of it, played it, completed
Orcs
it.
Must Die 2. Have you played that?
No, I think
Why not?
there's about 3 or 4 on the list that I haven't played, and if I
To be
haven't,
fair-
it's because me or Katie don't want to play it.
To be fair, A, Orcs Must Die 2 is a fantastic game, and B, you've only got to wait like 2 weeks anyway, and then you get effing Borderlands.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah,
quit your bitching.
Um,
In fact, you get Torchlight 2 and Borderlands soon.
Yeah, they're kind of big deals, and will satisfy that cooperative.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah,
Or
that's
you
what
could go and
both me
play some
Katie have
Diablo
been-
for a little while, or Titan Quest,
Got
or...
bored of Diablo. I play Path of Exile when I get the dungeon crawler urge, because
Yeah, then go play that.
but I don't have the dungeon crawler urge. I've played it. I've sated that urge.
You
You can always
just...
try like some of the free-to-play games that are popping up around the place. I mean, I saw War of the Immortals came up on Steam, free-to-play MMO.
Yeah,
It looks
that's what I've been looking
fairly
at, some of the
interesting.
free-to-play stuff just to pass some time, and maybe find something that's doing something new or doing something old in a new way.
Or you could play Raiders, because Raiders is awesome.
Actually, the beta is shut down at the moment. Oh...
That would explain why I couldn't get on yesterday.
That would be why you couldn't get on yesterday. Don't worry, the
Yeah.
open beta starts soon, in air quotes. I think Xander just needs to basically HTF you.
No,
Yeah.
there's not enough co-op stuff out there. There really isn't.
HTF you.
And I even went to set up a
HTF you.
Minecraft server for our little community. And you know what? None of the mod makers that have made any of the mods that people seem to have on their servers, you know, the industrial craft, red power stuff,
Yeah.
have really done anything in the way of getting their stuff up to date with the new mod interface. There's just very little happening. Like, people have gone, bored of that now. So the only way to do it is to use Techit or something similar, which basically downgrades Minecraft to the old version. So it's like, well, that's kind of utterly pointless. So I've left that alone. There's just, I don't know, sitting waiting. So I'm playing MechWarrior
Fair
a
enough.
lot. Pretty much
Cool.
all I've done, MechWarrior and Deus Ex. But yeah.
Is there any other videos?
Before I
you can
interrupted
help
you and had a whine about the fact there's nothing co-op
out?
to play.
Yeah, shut up, you. Go sit back in the corner. Irishy.
No, that was it from me for this week, in terms of just videos that I ended up putting out.
What about game-wise? You didn't just play StarCraft.
Oh god. StarCraft, World of Warcraft, League of Legends, and Mega Mall Story on my phone because Kairosoft are evil and want to sap all of the time that I have forever.
Fair enough.
Basically every 2 weeks or so, when I finish the second playthrough of whatever one of their games I'm playing, I just get the next one.
Yeah, and there's
Fair
a
enough.
long list to go through.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They ported all their iPhone stuff across to Android, I think. So they've got a big...
There are 3 left, I think. But yeah, the vast majority of them are over, and it is quite a huge time sink.
Yeah, they're good at that.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So,
What have you been doing? I mean, I know you've been streaming a lot of Dark Souls and dying a lot, because I had a good giggle at that for a while. Getting run over repeatedly by big round boulders, Indiana Jones style, and then bouncing back to your feet in quite a cartoon fashion.
game-wise, I've been playing way too much Darksiders. Dark Souls. I'm still waiting to play Darksiders. Like, Darksiders I really want to play. But Dark Souls is currently... I'm 80 hours in now.
Wow.
I am now getting to the point where if I die, it disheartens me and I feel like... I feel cold on the inside, if I'm honest. Because now deaths are things like 60,000, 70,000, 80,000, 100,000 souls, and a few humanity at the same time. Deaths now hurt, and it's really quite irritating. Apart from that, I've been playing Dota, and they're really the only 2 games I've been playing in my free time this week. Video-wise, I took a look at Galaxy on Fire 2 HD on the PC, which has still got to come out. And we put out the Firefall gameplay and interview discussing with Scott Youngblood all of the changes they made, because they changed everything. It was crazy. We then also did the Tomb Raider gameplay and interview, which is a rather interesting one given how they've changed Tomb Raider to be a more cinematic style game now. Put out the On Second Thought review of Dark Souls with Surge, which was rather an interesting conversation.
Indeed.
Yeah. The double back-to-back Riftathon, which was taking a look at Dimensions and a general overview of the new expansion, was quite cool.
I was watching that, and the world's boss, they featured, dear God, the size of that thing.
Poland. Oh,
yeah.
So big. And the fact that he knocks down a wall and opens up an area for you.
Yeah.
Very cool. On top of that, what else? The Defiance preview, discussing the PvP aspect of the game, which is rather interesting to see a game being balanced around PvP and then just they can slot the PvE in next to it. It's quite an interesting concept, especially when Defiance is, of course, if you remember it, the game that's coming out with the TV show on Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
So it's actually quite a heavy PvE game. So it's quite interesting.
There's a lot of story-driven.
Yeah, so it's quite interesting to see how much they care about PvP. And then the moment that I loved the most this week, out of any of the videos that I've done, is the Painkiller Hell and Damnation one. Painkiller Hell and Damnation interview, which went up last night, and is essentially me and two of the Painkiller guys just swearing for 13 minutes.
Okay, you'd expect that with Painkiller, to be fair.
To be fair, they F-bombed during the interview, and my first thought was, shit, they've sworn. What do I do? And because I'm talking and my brain's currently working away, and it's like, what do I do? What do I do? Do I just let it go? And then, like, there's just this big old voice just yelled through my head, it's the fucking Painkiller guys. And it was just like, let it go.
Yeah.
It was good. But this upcoming week, we're trying to finish off everything. There should be a recap video going up for if anyone missed any of the Gamescom videos.
So people can go back and see you shouting at Hugh from Natural Selection 2.
Oh, Hugh is a legend. If anyone is after a new shooter, I cannot recommend Natural Selection 2 enough.
Yeah.
Just simply can't.
There needs to be more people that
care that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like poor Hugh. Hugh worked his ass off at Gamescom. He worked his ass off at Rest. We took care of him. Like if you noticed, you mentioned in the video that like we were dropping off throat lozenges and beer for him. Hugh, we took care of him because like he was working his ass off and
ran himself ragged, man.
Yeah, and they have a fairly small-ish booth. So, and a smallish team. So he can't just kind of delegate to someone else and then just be like, I'm going to go take a break. They just can't do that.
Yeah.
So, he's one of the guys that I have a lot of respect for. Even, putting friendship and all that kind of stuff aside, I have a ton of respect for
the enthusiasm,
how dedicated he is.
The enthusiasm and dedication to what he does.
That's the thing. He's always running at 11.
Yeah,
and that definitely comes across in the interview as well.
I don't know where he gets the energy from, man. I'd be burnt out by now.
You went to Res, like you saw how we were at Res. Like,
yeah,
we were
that's what I mean. I know how I was, and I wasn't. I could go. You know what? I'm going for a coffee and a cigarette. Goodbye.
Yeah, I unfortunately didn't really have that luxury, but it was a case of even at Gamescom, I know why people run at 11. It's just. Maintaining it for 5 days.
How you do that for so long
takes a lot of it takes a lot of skill. Like you will die afterwards. And Monday I spent most of it sleeping because I pushed quite hard during those 5 days as well, but not as hard as you. Like on a scale, I would say I was running at about 9, and I was trying to get higher. But Hugh was as if he had huffed kittens every day just before we started. Like every day, he randomly just bro hugs me at one point as well, and it was just like the interview was fantastic. His answer to the question.
Didn't have any glasses on. Hanging
just to put this in perspective, he didn't shut my glasses this time. For anyone that's watching this, now this is a special thing. I won't mention this anywhere else. So, if you watch the question video when we put it out. And the question video this time is probably going to be about 20-30 minutes long.
Awesome.
There are a lot of answers. But we did Hugh's on the last day as the very last interview. The only game we covered after that was Rambo, and we can't show anything because we're not allowed. But Hugh was the last interview we did on Sunday at about 5:30 at night. This was in 40-degree heat after 5 days on the floor, 6 days in the con for him because he was working the day before because you have to set up your booth and everything. And to watch his enthusiasm and watch the energy that he puts into his answer, because he doesn't just answer, he does something. And to see that and realize that that's on the 5th day after that, you're just like, how does he still have this energy?
I'm looking forward to seeing the answer video.
The answer video is fantastic.
You haven't even shown it to us.
No, everyone answered apart from one guy who I'm totally okay with them not answering it because this was on like Saturday. It was, again, 40-degree heat. The aircon had stopped working and they were enclosed in a booth all day. I'm respectful of anyone who, after 4 days of doing their job, is basically just like, I would, but I just want to go sit down and rest for a few minutes before the next interview. That's an acceptable answer to me.
It's completely understandable.
Yeah. So, what are you doing this next week then, Cal?
What I'm doing, first of all, I'm trying to get my PS2 and PC working nicely so I can get some streaming going. I've got Zone of the Enders 1 and 2, and I really want to play them because the HD remake is going to be at Eurogamer. So I'm trying to get that working. Unfortunately, right now it's not being nice. Anyway, apart from that, Double Dragon Neon is coming out on Xbox and PS3, so I am eagerly anticipating that. Big Double Dragon fan in my more youthly days because I'm the youngest here. Haha. And a tower defense game that just came out on Steam called Shadow, or Shadow, not quite sure how it's pronounced.
Shadow.
Yes, but that looks really interesting. And
or is I like calling it Shadow? I don't know why.
Okay.
It's a capital O, so it's like Shadow.
Moving on.
Smile and nod.
Yeah, I'm a big tower defense fan, so anything tower defense, I'm instantly all over.
Yeah, I played around with one of those on my phone. And my other half bought me the Tumble Android bundle.
Was it a normally?
It was.
There you go.
Fantastic.
I was about to say, if it's the
trying to remember what it was called.
The only Android, the only like tower defense game I know of that's on every single platform ever, and normally. Why? Because the Stan and the 11-bit guys are just insane.
It's a pretty good game. I was quite impressed. I was quite impressed with how well it worked on a phone, to be fair.
Yes.
It
works really well. It's a fantastic game. They really do care about putting everything right across to the right platforms as well.
Yeah, every version they've done it's not just been a straight port, there's been changes made to make it work better.
To make it
and
work
new stuff
better on that platform. That's cool. So that's really good to hear.
Yeah.
Right, so we're nearing the 25-minute mark.
Last thing before we finish. I'm doing on Saturday rather than Friday, so we can get more people involved. Because Friday, or rather 8 p.m. GMT, turns out is like 2 p.m. for 2 p.m. in the afternoon for some of our guys, and they're still at school in the States. So
even earlier than that, if you go West Coast.
Yeah, that's it. And the further west you go, the earlier it gets. So 8 p.m. on a Saturday, so we can get a few more people involved. The TF2. Game of the week type thing that we're gonna start doing, something like that. Call it what you want. Get everybody together to play a game and get everybody in the same game rather than shotgunned across a bunch of different stuff and different people on vent never meeting each other.
Sounds
if you
fun.
fancy a go, get yourself down.
Are we going to announce your new title?
No, it's not really a title. It's not really sorted out.
It is. No.
The more you try and do something like that, the more I feel pressured, and it all falls apart.
No,
just
you
leave it alone.
Pressured. No. I refuse to leave this alone. I'm going to actually mention your title now because I think it's awesome. It's awesome. So
but I'm going to get people trying to talk to me and.
I don't care.
Then I'll have to actually get off my ass and do some work.
No, right. I want to give the explanation behind this. I'll drop you out of the call if you don't shut up. So, you've had issues with trying to find, decent videos to actually get started on because, anything you try, there's a problem with it or it doesn't feel right and you're not
the
happy
stuff
with
that
it.
I'm happy with is going to be months away yet and keeps getting put back.
So, you basically have now decided that you want to still, appear as, a helper in other videos like you do in STS, of course, because you're a part of Elden 3, you're a co-founder, and also on Second Thought because your opinion is valid and it takes a lot of pressure off of you in that regard in trying to make the perfect video in air quotes. So you are now can we get a drum roll, Cal? community manager for us.
Yeah.
Which means
It's a
that
dirty job,
basically,
but some poor bastard's got to get lumbered with it.
so you are our new community manager in air quotes. I'm putting it in air quotes because it's basically what you were already doing. You're just kind of doing it more formally now.
Yeah, and
Which I think is awesome. It's really awesome to see that. And it basically means that you're going to run the events, you're going to do highlight videos, and you're going to post stuff up on Steam, and you're basically just going to liaise with the community and get them doing stuff.
yeah, get the community actually doing stuff, because it's...
Me and Kel get busier and busier and busier. It's quite harder to stay on target.
Yeah, it's the guys, I don't know, it seemed to be getting a little bit stale. People were just sitting playing the same old boring stuff
You
and
just
whining
didn't like
about
Dota.
it. And I really don't. It's not that I don't like Dota. I can appreciate how the game mechanics work, and I as a game, I get it, and it's a good game. Unfortunately, the community that comes along with Dota are a bunch of knuckle-dragging, drooling, insert random
To
list
be
of
fair to
expletives
Dota,
here. They're a bunch of...
To be fair to Dota, every MOBA is like that.
To be fair,
Yes, exactly. But Dota was the first one. They are all spawns. They're all effectively a spawn. They are a clone of the original, which was a mod for Warcraft.
Warcraft, right?
Yeah, I know where it all... But it's essentially all stemmed from Dota. And that community are a nasty bunch of waste of space, generally speaking, in my opinion. I've never come across a good, helpful, nice person in anywhere in the community. That I
consider
haven't
myself...
that I haven't met elsewhere first.
I'm actually on the subject of Dota. Me and one of the other guys from our community are testing out and testing the waters of casting for Dota. As we are both big Dota fans, and I have one of those fantastic voices, not hyping myself up too much there. But yeah, he has previous experience of doing this crap, and I have previous experience of doing this crap, and we're both big Dota fans, and we both know our Dota crap. So
why not?
Why not? Because it could work quite well. Plus, also, there's not many good Dota casters. Like, no disrespect intended with that, but hell, during the international, I ended up watching most of the games with Vilat. Vilat is an awesome Russian commentator, just because he made things way more interesting, like randomly flying off to watch people that are farming in lanes, and then all of a sudden he breaks Russian and goes to English and just goes, "Meanwhile, in Soviet Russia," watches the guy creep farming for like 2 seconds, and then just goes back to the action and starts talking Russian again.
Nice.
It's like, if someone does that, then they're a fantastic commentator.
Just aware that it, trying to entertain the audience, because that's what you're doing as a commentator. You are you are supposed to basically explain and make entertaining what it is somebody's watching. That's your job, and to do that, you need to know whatever it is you're commentating about, inside out and back to front. You need to know the people, you need to know the audience, and you need to know the tactics. You need to have played the game.
It's probably better doing it as a duo, because you get a lot of solo casters out there, and they can't quite stand on their own 2 feet. You get a lot of dead air.
And
but if you've got a duo, you can bounce back and forth.
With duo, it works because you have a color commentator and an analyst.
Yeah.
That's like how the setup works. And the great thing is that this is the interesting thing, the positive and the negative. Both me and the other guy can fit both of those roles, which is an awkward situation, because normally you end up with 2 people trying to be funny over the top of each other.
Yeah.
However, with the guy from the community that you guys both know who it is, it's not so much a case of both of us trying to be funny over the top of each other as both of us running a one-track mind with the same jokes, which I feel will work quite well. And also a fact of one of us will just back down and let the other one be the Colin commentator and be the analyst. So it'll just keep switching.
You'll have also 2 analysts arguing over what the better point is, and that could bring up some interesting discussion in and of itself. So I think that could quite well work.
It could work quite well.
I'm really looking forward to it.
It'll either work or it'll explode horrifically in a supernova. Either way, it'll be entertaining to watch.
Kel, videos, quick. What you're doing next week?
I'm pretty sure I already told you.
Yeah, I know. Recap.
Okay. Shadow, Double Dragon Neon, and I'm going to try and stream some Zone of the Enders.
There you go. Do you know roughly what day or time your stream zone if you get it working?
It will likely be tomorrow, maybe the day after. Keep an eye on my Twitter. I will be announcing it there about an hour in advance before it goes live, and the VODs will be up on my Twitch TV channel.
Awesome. And from myself, we have Crisis 3, Deadpool this week. I believe we may have Borderlands 2, maybe. in air quotes. Also going to have City Emotions 2, which is a fantastic sequel, and I'm looking forward to that one. And also going to have some other games that I'm not sure quite yet what. Maybe, given that the End of Nations beta is starting up this weekend, I believe I will try and get out the preview look of the End of Nations PvE content that they showed us at Gamescom. Because it's quite interesting to see
I had a play with
online...
that at Rezzed.
Yeah, didn't you...
Did
I have PvP there though, or PvE at Rezzed? I didn't get my hands on it.
It was PvE content, and I was playing with.
They were showing off the giant tank at Gamescom.
Cool.
Yeah, monolithic tank.
Yeah, it's a really good game. Really good, because I'm not very good at him at RTSs. I said that at the time, I really suck at RTS games. Well, this is a lot smaller scale. You get like 10 units, and it's you and 25 other guys with 10 units versus 26 of the guys on the team with 10 units each.
Sweet.
Well, given that my next door neighbour is apparently now trying to burrow through my wall, that's what that noise in the background is. I'm going to end it there, and I think you guys should as well.
So,
okay.
So, of course, if you have any questions, queries, or comments, leave them, Kel,
below.
There you go. And from myself, Kel, and Fluke, we will catch you for the next video. Shadoo!
See you on Saturday.
Stay awesome.